Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome
all.
to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 180. No, we are not on strike. We are here to provide great entertainment for you all. We're not striking.
No.
I'm glad you're all here tonight. Larry, how you doing?
I am doing well, sir. Doing well. No, not striking. We're not scabs. We're professionals.
Yeah, we should have clarified that. We're not protesting, because Steve made a good point. It's a protest,
right.
So you kind of have to be an employee if you're going to strike.
Yeah, you kind of gotta kind of have that small little detail.
Right. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Everything you need to know about the show, go to gigeconomyshow.com. You can sign up for our newsletter that never comes out, or the letter the email that I'm supposed to send out when a new episode drops that I just realized that I didn't do, because Jesper used to do that, and I'm literally realizing it right now. But anyways, you can go to gigeconomyshow.com, and all the news is on there, what's going on with the show, and gig economy news throughout the world. I'd like to mention our Patreon members and thank them. Oh, I got to delete one. Hold on.
Hey, I'm paid up through February.
Oh, okay. Larry from Bowling Green, Samson from Grand Rapids, Steve from Colorado, Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cats from Michigan, Jamie from Tennessee, Frank from Philly, Nate from Florida, John McCallion from California, Tom from Chicago, and Jim from Connecticut. Thank you so much for supporting the show. If you really want to support us, which we would really appreciate it, if you go to patreon.com/gigeconpodcast, like Jim did. He said, hey, I want to support the guys on the show. And in fact, tonight we are doing a live Patreon bonus podcast after the show at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us there. If you can't find us with that, just search the Gig Economy Podcast in the Patreon app or on the desktop, and then you can join us for all the shenanigans.
The shenanigans. Lots of shenanigans.
Yes. Also, the Telegram group is something that we've had two people join in the last week. Jeffrey and Marissa. And
then I think we had one join today as well.
Yeah, I think that was Jeffrey.
Is that Jeffrey?
Jeffrey. I like that. I like Jeffrey. I don't know what it is. Jeff just seems like a douche.
Jeffrey's a good solid name.
Jeffrey. But anyways, if you would love to join the Telegram group, which is a group where we can connect, talk about gig work and all that stuff and those kind of things. But yeah, check that out. The link is in the description. So I have some epic stories from the road, and I know Larry has some. So I'm not going to overshadow his first. So we're going to let Larry tell his stories.
Yeah,
and then I have
to warm you up, just a little smidge of what Jason's got in store for him.
Larry's gonna wet your whistle per se, and then I'm gonna blow.
So anyway, this one happened last night. I actually hadn't happened in quite a long time, but had a guy try to steal a ride. So I was downtown going to pick up my passenger. I was at a stoplight, and it showed the passenger icon. It showed like they were still a little bit down the block, but sometimes that thing's not accurate.
Correct.
Anyway, I'm sitting at the stoplight, and these two guys walk by. Tell they've been celebrating Mardi Gras. One guy had like this, sparkly mask on and all that. So they were celebrating Mardi Gras. And the other guy walks over to my car and kind of motions me to roll down the window. He's like, "You Uber, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, you're my ride." And I'm like, "Is your name Drew?" He's like, Yeah, Drew Parker. That's my name. And I was like, he hesitated. And so he starts to get in. And I'm like, "Well, where are you going?" And he gives me a completely different address than is on there. I was like, "No, sorry, dude. I'm not your ride." And he's in the back seat by this time. He's like, "Well, this leaves us in kind of an uncomfortable situation, doesn't it?" I was like, "No, it doesn't. Get out of my car."
For you?
Yeah, there's nothing uncomfortable about it. Just get the hell out of my car. He's like, "You're really going to make me do this?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm really making you get out of my car. My passenger's right down there. I can see him. Get out of my car." So he got out of my car. Then second one also last night. One of the things we talk about, it's not always about the money. Sometimes you just do things. You have passengers that, it makes you feel good about what you're doing. Yeah. I picked up a lady last night from a motel, and she got in, and we started taking off, and she's like, thank you so much. She's like, "You're an angel." She's like, "You're rescuing me from my abusive boyfriend." So she was getting out of a very bad situation. And it just makes you feel good when you're able to do things like that. And I mean, she was so appreciative. I'm like, but I'm just, you're telling her I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing it. But she was just very appreciative that somebody would come out there and pick her up and help her get out of this bad situation. So
you often wonder how many people were moving around that are in something like that.
That's like the third one that I've had that I know of.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, you don't know how many you had that they don't want to talk about it, or they don't want to share anything, or they're just too scared to share anything. But
when you hear that, did you like, let's get moving?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I was already going. And
okay.
And then she wanted to. She's like, "Is there any way we could stop at a store real quick?" I'm like, "Yeah." And there's one right across the street. I'm like, no, we're not stopping there. Right across from the hotel. No, we're going down the road a little bit before we stop. So,
yeah.
And then
that's good.
Yeah. So hopefully it ends up well. I told her, I was like, I pray for you. I'm glad you got away. I hope you stay away. That's all you can do.
Unfortunately, a lot of times they do go back, and I don't blame them.
No, it's
it
very
sucks.
Tough situation to get out of. It really is. I mean, as much as people say, "Oh, that would never happen to me," it happens to a lot of people you never think would happen to. They're very strong people, but it happens slowly. Things
over
time, and they just kind of break you down. So,
especially if you financially can't do it.
Oh yeah,
that's even the worst.
Yeah, they cut you off. They'll cut them off. They don't want to. You're my wife. I make enough money. You don't have to work. I don't want you to work. And then they start cutting them off from their friends and isolating them. And they're really master manipulators for sure.
Yeah.
And
speaking of assholes.
Oh yeah.
Do you have another?
I got one more real quick.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. This one was on Saturday, so I picked up. It's 4 college girls, and I was taking them. There's a lot of darties going on Saturday on campus. So
you're gonna have to give a definition of what that is.
Darty. That's a day party. A darty.
A day party?
Yes, they're called darties on the college campuses.
Gotcha. So okay, look at this hip man over here.
Lots of those going on because the weather was, it's fairly warm, and get in. And so these 4 girls, the one's like, now you're Suzanne and you're Linda, and so what these girls had done, they'd made up fake names for each of themselves because they didn't want to give their real names to the frat guys. So they're trying to make sure they had all their names down pat, right? And then one of them looks at me and she's like, "You know what? We need to give you a new name too." And so they're discussing it back there and like, "All right, from now on you're going to be Brad. Brad is your new name." So, all right, Brad it is. I'm good. I'm down with that. Okay.
That's amazing. You have such fun times with your college people. That's so great.
They crack me up.
So over the weekend, I had the epitome of what a definition of what like a ride share person goes through. I had one of the funnest rides and I almost got into a fist fight. So here's the question, Larry. I'm looking for a professional opinion on this. Which one should I play first? So the fun one is a little bit, not super long, but I cut a lot of it out, but so that one's about 3 minutes. The other one's about 1.5 minutes. But what would you prefer?
Oh, I think I would go with I would do the fun one second. I would do the other one first.
Okay, do the asshole one first. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I will play it and then I'll kind of explain it at the end. So we'll do that first. It's a little bit longer than I thought. I titled this one "Go Fuck Yourself." And you'll
see why. You will definitely hear why.
I blurted out right here. I just didn't want to officially show his face.
Hello, for Julie. You've been ignoring our phone calls, sir. He's locking the door.
Fuck off, you prick.
We called you 4 times, and you didn't show up in front of the bar. Get out the car then.
Hit my car again, you fucking
I
dog.
tapped your window, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. Don't touch my car.
I answer your fucking phone, bro.
I
You were literally a professional driver and you haven't texted for shit.
I'm around the corner after 4 minutes. We have 5 minutes for a limit.
Get
for
the
you
fuck
to answer.
out of here. You talk to my car?
Get the fuck out of here yourself, bro.
God.
Do your job. You're literally a professional driver. I'm a professional driver. I would never do this to one of my
Why
customers.
don't you go drink
So
another
why don't
beer?
you fucking go fuck yourself?
Okay,
How
I'll
about
go.
that?
I'll go fuck myself.
Drive safely as you go fuck yourself. Sir. Learn to do your job better. How about that?
What?
I'm gonna alert you to the fucking thing. I'm gonna kill out.
Annoying seatbelt. Annoying seatbelt.
What's the matter? You don't want me, a little bitch?
Oh, you are a sucker.
Oh, okay.
Oh goodness, never seen you move that quick, man.
Oh my God. So you kind of got the beginning of the story. You kind of got the gist of it, right? He was calling. I typically don't pick up the phone. So the whole night I was annoyed that people weren't looking for their driver. Like, I'm around the corner. I'm not going to park on Bridge, you dumbass. It's a busy street. There's no parking. And no one was, walking around and looking at it. So that was the same thing. I texted them. They're like, we're out front. I said, I'm around the corner. So what would you do? Around the corner. So you would walk out. Oh, there's a corner. I'm around it. So that's how it started. So you can see in the video that I rolled the window up because I was going to cancel it, right? I'm a professional. I could already see he was elevated. He already knocked on my window a little aggressively. And I said, nope, I'm just going to cancel. And then it didn't do it justice in the video, but the how loud he hit my car window or the side was so loud, and I just fucking lost it. And like they said, they're like, I didn't think Jason could move that fast. I hit that button.
Oh, you were out. You were out.
I threw that seatbelt off.
You were gone.
And I was ready. I was ready to go. And so I think he I didn't think he expected me to get out of the car.
No, I doubt it.
I think he was going to hit that, and he thought I was going to keep driving. I was like, not today, motherfucker. This is a brand new car, and I still love it. So anyways, I peel out, and then of course the Bolt has such good acceleration, so you hear me squawk the tires a little bit because I whipped around the corner because I was really like, I was elevated. I was a little, not, you're like, okay, you're like fight or flight, right? My adrenaline was pumping.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this guy was going to hit me, so like I was whatever. So I go around the corner, calm down. And then I get that you hear the lift ping. Well, the ping was for Seth. Well, I look, you see me look at the location. It's right where I dropped him off. So I was like, oh, I'm going to fuck with these guys. So I drove around. And if you could listen to the video towards the end, he was like, oh, you're a dumb cunt. And I just kind of chuckled in my head when he said that. So,
oh man.
So that's how I almost got in a fight. He didn't even get in the car. See, like, if you're a new driver, this is a tip. Like, if it's going to be escalated, don't even, just cancel. Yeah. Like, it's just not worth the fight for that.
For
and
sure.
I wouldn't recommend bouncing out like I did. I mean, I was ready to get deactivated from Lyft at that point. Like, I was like, if this motherfucker swings on me, I'm ready to just punch the shit out of that guy. But I think I'm okay regardless, is because I canceled the ride. There's really no record of it, anything. Like, I didn't get paid for it, nothing. So
I'm just glad you remember to put your car in park before you hopped out.
Yeah, well, thankfully, so with the electric car and the one pedal driving, I don't use my brake pedal. Yeah. I use my gas. So when I let off the gas pedal, it stops. Yeah. So it would have stayed there.
Oh,
it wouldn't have moved.
That's good.
But yeah, I whipped that fucking seatbelt off so quick. I'm like, all right, here we go, bitch. Here we go.
Yep.
So don't be like me. Don't be like me.
And don't be like that passenger either. Don't be pounding on people's cars. Don't be
I
smacking
know,
people's
like-
cars. And be ready for your ride. Be looking for your ride. You know, everybody knows the GPS is not exact. You might be around the corner. Like you said, don't expect us to stop in the middle of a busy street and pick you up.
You know, he had a couple gals with him. Well, Julia was his girlfriend or whatever, and he had her phone, but like she didn't seem drunk. Like, how is she having trouble? I don't know. It was just a complete disaster. Yeah. So that's the bad one. And then I had a good one, and it's just the conversation's hilarious. It gets the best at the end, and I'm not just clickbaiting you just to watch the whole thing. I mean, you're already here, fucker, so I already got you. But I hate when people do that on TikTok, like the best is at the end, but the best is actually at the end. So we kind of build a little rapport here, and then so here's the fun ride.
You're riding bitch.
Yeah. Oh my God. We're all brothers and sisters.
Love
Yeah.
We love
Yeah.
each other.
It's
And
so
if we could grow a
annoying.
beautiful beard like you have, we would.
God.
I mean, that is a great beard.
Yeah, you guys are cramming it. You could have fucking sat in the front.
Yeah, and I'm
dude,
a
you
really
guys-
big,
No,
yeah.
hey, dude,
I have a really
I
big
gotta
fur
get back
coat
with
on
my
right now.
peeps.
Yes.
At least you love each other.
Yeah,
we
oh, we do.
love
We
each
do.
other.
I need a Jolly
Dude,
Ranchers.
let's talk about that
From my
beard.
mother
How long
and
have
his
you grown it?
dad, okay.
Like 15 years.
15 years?
Yeah, I get it trimmed up, obviously.
How long? I don't know. Well, it's not long as his.
I mean, it's down.
But
It's down to
okay.
my sternum.
your dog. Okay. So Jeff's is down
Hey,
to his
you don't
chin.
have to touch
No, I'm
Jason.
not
Like,
touching him.
you're like, hey, ask him if he wants to do that.
Thank
Don't
you.
Fucking go over
We need
that.
consent, damn it.
Exactly.
Well,
No shit. Hey, we're men, but doesn't
Hey,
mean that we don't have feelings.
Yeah.
All right, can I
Right,
consent
Jason?
to put my hands around your fucking beard?
Well, when you say it like that, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, no
All
shit.
right, can I
No
have
shit.
consent to give
Hey,
me a
hey,
job?
well,
Yeah.
well done. Well
Yeah.
done, sir.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right, consent to give a hand job.
I'm gonna say no on that too. Your husband probably went like that.
I'm horrible at them. My
Yeah, who
husband's
wants
like,
a
"You're
hand
the
job
fucking
anyways?
No
I know.
shit.
I'm married.
Jeff,
I'm
No
like,
shit. We're past
Like,
that.
Jeff,
Like,
my husband's like this. You're the worst at hand jobs. I'm like,
no, like as a guy too, even blowjobs. It's like I just want to have sex.
dude.
yeah.
No,
Oh
hey.
my God. No, that's bullshit. Yes. You all are fast.
No,
oh my
I'll
God.
Hey,
That-
if
that
it's,
is
hey,
all
if it's
I
good
want.
head, I'll take it. But it's not usually good head.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
if it's a random blowjob, I'll take it. But like, if we're going to bed to like, fool around, like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
right.
right, that's
Yeah.
what sex. Can
Dude,
you all
totally.
be quiet right now? Jason,
Shit.
you know what's fucking wrong with this world?
What?
Foreplay. No guys want to fucking make
No,
out.
I have trained myself. My
No.
wife needs it.
I want
Like-
it. I want to fucking kiss for 30
Oh.
minutes. I want you
Three-
to
that's
lick
it?
my
3?
nipples.
30.
I want you
30.
to
30
face
minutes.
me.
Jason.
I want you to face. This is
I
what's
love you.
fucking
You're
wrong
like
with
3
the
minutes.
world.
I can do 3
Everyone-
I can do 3 minutes. No
Fuck
problem.
you. 30 minutes of foreplay and then
30 okay, not 30 minutes.
Yeah,
before,
see?
but-
I
That's
wish
the
we
fucking
were hanging
problem.
with you the rest of the
I
night.
fucking hate you.
Brother, thank
hate
you
you.
for
I
everything.
hate
Good luck.
Like this is god damn it. Fucking guys are lazy.
30 minutes? That's not lazy.
Thanks, Big Daddy.
See ya.
I appreciate you.
All right. So that's a little bit more fun. I realized I missed a little blur at the end, which is nice because I realized how long that fucking thing is. I might trim that up before I post it to TikTok. But yeah, so we talked about hand jobs. She was like, it went from the guy hitting on me with the
Beard.
the beard to her wanting to give me a hand job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're married.
Yeah.
You're married.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah. You just never know what kind of going to come up in conversation, especially when people are out just having fun. I mean, you never know. You never know.
Well, the fun part of it is I rolled with it
Yes.
and kept
Oh, you didn't miss a
pressing.
beat,
Like,
man. You didn't miss a beat.
No.
That was awesome.
No, I was like, because it was fun.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, most of my rides were just like, hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I got a fun group. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's neat when you get those.
I might have, honestly, if they would have said, "Do you want to come in and drink with us?" I might have gone in there, had a drink with them, just one, and called it a night.
Yeah.
But I kept driving. So
got to make that moolah.
the funny part of that is both those ride that like the shitty one was after the good one, unfortunately, but they were like an hour apart.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's what can happen in a night. You can have like the funnest ride. That's not even like a word, funnest, but the most fun ride, and you can have just a terrible one, which I mean, it obviously didn't become a ride, but
yeah, and that can be back to back. I mean, you never know.
Yeah,
you can, and everything in between. Like I said, we see people at their best, and we see people at their worst, and everything in between.
That's such a good statement. We see them at their best and their worst, and everything in between.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good sign off. Ooh, I like that. Something like that. So
verbal
Timothy,
trademark.
Verbal trademark owned by Lifting with Larry and the Gig Economy podcast.
Exactly.
So, well, thank you for indulging me in the videos. I cut a lot out because the other one it wasn't that long. I mean, Pete will know it was from the Anchor Bar to Putt Putt. So it was probably 6 minutes maybe. And I trimmed it down to like 2.5, but one drink and then the hand job. Yeah, that's true. Good point. I probably should have. Yeah, that was probably good that I didn't go in there.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one of those things you got to, if you're a new driver, you got to be prepared for. People will invite you in.
Yeah.
People will invite you in for sure.
And, be prepared for he touching the beard. Like it is a little weird. She didn't go too bad on it. I think part of it I cut out because they were saying it was just kind of repetitive. So I cut it out. But there was a part of the video that I cut. She was really touching it. I was like, and then her brother was like, "Hey, bro, like you can't just freaking do that."
Yeah.
So speaking of touching things. No, that was a bad
segue.
Transition. Kim with Kim's Side Money Plans, who's an incredible live streamer. Check her out. She's got a following of over 7,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is like ground up shit, Kim. Well done. Well done.
Yes.
And we're both starting to advertise together. She's advertising my show, and I'm advertising her show. But check her out. Anywhere you can get you podcast Kim's Side Money Plans, and then obviously go to her YouTube channel to subscribe, and the link is in the description. But great person. I've done streams with her with Steve from Rideshare Rodeo, and she's always fun. And we never connected on this, and I meant, she texted me today. I meant to say this. We both have an obsession with Dr. Pepper. Like, I love Dr. Pepper. We always have it. Now, I drink the Dr. Pepper Zero because I'm a bitch, but we love it. And she has, like, I think a Dr. Pepper fridge in her live streams or something like that, too.
Really?
But yeah, she's great. I love her. Very good. Very tips and tricks. Does a lot of video content. And then, like I said, she's just starting a podcast. So
yeah,
subscribe to her podcast. And
a lot of good content.
Great. Yes. All right. Gig economy in the news. Uber is finally profitable. Well, I don't know what the official statement was. I got to mute this site before it probably plays some. Oh, don't you love it when you go to a site and it says unmute site? You've already been here and you muted it. In a first for Uber since becoming a public company, an annual profit, it posted its first full year profit since going public in 2019. The stock hit an all-time high Wednesday. I actually do regularly buy Uber stock. I know I'm a bitch. Let's see. Last year, its final year as a private company, the last time Uber turned a profit, it got a huge tailwind from the investments that helped fuel profits. $1 billion in 2023. So it's kind of good. I mean, as much as they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing with drivers, I'm glad they're getting bigger, I guess. I don't know. Is that a positive thing, Larry, that they're doing that?
I mean, I think it's good that they're finally starting to show a profit. It seems like for so long they were spending so much money on R&D, trying to get into the self-driving cars, getting into flying cars, the taxis and everything. But I think they really refocused when the pandemic hit, and they really had to. And they lost so much rideshare business. That's when they really pushed into food delivery. And I think that's really been what's helped them so much. I think their food delivery, the money they make off food delivery, is what's helped them to be able to turn a profit.
One thing I was surprised about the article is that the analyst noted that the growth in the company's membership platform. So this is probably going to be shocking. Uber One now has roughly 19 million members across 25 countries. That was mind blowing to me.
I mean, it does sound like a lot, but you got to remember how many countries they're in and how many customers, how many people all over the world use Uber. I mean, it's a lot. And
well, their revenue totaled $9.94 billion and beating Wall Street's prediction of $9.75 billion. So,
yeah,
golly,
that's a lot of cheese, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I think it's kind of positive. I don't know. One of the CEOs, I think it was Dara, said that. Oh no, that was about the strike, which we'll talk about. Am I right? Yeah, never mind. Fuck that. That's about the strike. Who's talking about that?
That would be
that's
me.
you.
That would be me.
We'll just jump into that. But basically, Dara said about the strike that it's not really affecting business because drivers are making more money now than they ever have. And I'm like, there's got to be a way he's skewing the numbers because that literally is impossible. He's going to have some sort of equation that he can show or something like that. And yeah. Well, why don't you jump into that and see any of your feedback that you saw? And I mean, you don't have to really read the article. I mean, if you want to, you can, but.
Yeah, well, I'll just talk about it basically. So we've all seen over the years, people here or there talking about, hey, we're making less money. We need to go on strike this day or go on strike that day. But this one really seems to be the most organized one that I've seen over the years.
Agreed.
It seems like it's happened, not just in the United States, but some of the countries overseas as well. It seemed pretty organized. And I think most of the places I saw, I know that at 20 of the major airports, they were trying to have these protests. And they were going to, first I thought it was going to be all day, but I think they were just focusing on a 2-hour window for the most part.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't know that till I read several stories. And some of the articles mentioned that, some of them didn't. So I know, they were reporting that at some of the airports, people were having trouble, trying to get a ride. So I don't know if 2-hour window is going to do a whole lot in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
And the thing we always talk about is being that we're all independent contractors. We don't have a union. We're not employees. We don't, generally we don't feel like, as much as a connection maybe to drivers in other cities. And you're like, hey, when I drive, I make decent money. If I didn't, I wouldn't be doing it.
Exactly.
So we I don't think any of us have felt a huge tug to promote, these protests or strikes, whatever you want to call it. But saying that, I did not drive today.
Not me either.
And probably will not drive tonight because not only are we having this podcast, it's obviously Valentine's evening and it's my 9th wedding anniversary as well. So,
happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. 9 years ago, I somehow talked my beautiful wife into saying I do. So
must have been real drunk.
I don't know, something slipped her Mickey, So yeah, I think this, like I said, I think this was the most organized I've ever seen it. But whether it's going to have any impact, I kind of have my doubts. I surely do.
Well, it had a little impact if the CEO is talking about it. I mean, even mentioning it, if someone wanted to interview him, I mean, that's somewhat of an impact. I saw a little bit of chatter about some small surges or anything, but I didn't see anything like, oh my gosh, this is out of control. So
right.
I definitely support people that do it. I think if it's important to you, that's why we live in this country, right? You have the right to do that. And if it, if you feel like it was effective, then I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I don't think I think it can be effective, but not everyone's got to do it, and not everyone's going to do it.
And I don't think there's a way ever because whenever it gets announced on there, you always see on the Facebook, somebody will talk about the strike, and invariably there's a bunch of people like, that's great, man. I want to be out there making all the money when y'all are striking because I'm working. I got bills to pay.
Yeah. So Gary said his market had zero surge. I doubt anyone did it here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it depends on what city you're in.
I know they were trying to hit some of the bigger cities, Chicago and Dallas and Atlanta and some places like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for the low wages. I don't know. I think back to many times I've thought about completely quitting like lawn care, which I have done, but just going completely gig work. And then I'm thinking, oh man, I don't know. Like now I'm thinking like, phew, I think that would be a grind. I mean, Gabe, for whatever reason in the market he's in, he's able to make it work, but I don't think it would work in the Grand Rapids market.
Yeah. And I was talking with my wife today. We were talking a little bit, she was asking me what, some of the things we were talking about on the show tonight. And I mentioned the strike, and I was like, what other job do you know about where you get paid less every year?
Yes.
And I mean, that's really that's just true.
Well, I think the uniqueness of this job is people do it because of the flexibility and not having a boss.
Exactly.
They're willing to take.
That's the trade-off.
They're willing to take a little less money to be able to work whenever they want.
And whatever fits their schedule,
And I'm okay with that. I just think at some point, you just can't be stupid about it. Like you have to be smarter now than for, when you and I started.
Right.
You couldn't just, you can't just drive whenever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So Mark got paid less when his raise was less than, I think a lot of people's cost of living increase was pretty high. So people do it because it requires no skill and it's easy, but I don't think it's easy. I think if you're going to make a little money on it, it's not easy. You have to really think about it and like not just drive whenever. You really have to strategize and stuff like that. But it does. I mean, you say it doesn't require any skills, Gary, but how many videos do I see people putting their fucking deliveries in front of where the door opens? It's like every day I see like, hey, look at what this dumbass did. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it's common sense.
Yeah.
I just like, it's like the kids on my bus that keep doing the same thing. I just do this with my forehead. I'm just like, you guys, it's not that hard.
Yeah. My head's going to explode.
All right, moving on. This is a kind of a PSA. If you say you're going to tip your rideshare driver, this might happen to you if you do that. So just be careful.
Uber for Brian? Hey, do you think we can make an extra stop? Yeah, I don't mind at all. I'll take care of you in the app. All right, here we are, Brian. What was your name again? John. Thank you so much, John. Hey, Brian, real quick. You said you were going to take care of me. Yeah, I told you I would take care of you. I promise I will. I cannot let you out of this car until you tip me. I told you I would take care of you. I promise I will. You know how many passengers tell me they're going to tip me or take care of me, and I never see it? I'm not like other passengers. I'm done getting finessed by riders. John, let me out of the car, dude. You can either tip me, or I can drive you out in the middle of nowhere. I can drop you off, and you can find your way back to downtown. What's your Venmo handle? If you say you're going to tip your driver, then tip your driver at the end of the trip. That's really your handle? Pretty good, right? It's sent. Just got it. Thank you so much, Brian. Have a great day.
So I missed that part at the end.
His Venmo handle.
Yeah, I missed that. I thought it was going to make a more of a comic turn and be like him unzipping his pants. Oh. Like I thought that's what it was going to be. It was like as soon as he locked the door, I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, your mind's still thinking about that hand job. Come on.
Yeah, he wants a hand job. That's what he wants. He's like, if you're not going to give me a tip on the app, you're going to give me a hand job. Oh, that was so good.
We're not saying that we recommend doing this, locking your passengers in the car by any means, but I mean,
I literally had this happen over the weekend. I took a drunk ass guy, stopped at the gas station for him. He's like, I'm going to tip you real good. Dropping him off at the hotel. Never saw a fucking dime.
Yep. Yeah.
But I do need to start reminding people when they do say that, when they get out, because I think they say they're going to do it, right? And they're drunk. And then we start having conversation about everything. And then they realize, yeah, I'm back at the hotel. I'm good. And then I need to say, hey, just remember, you said you were going to tip me well, you know.
Or just say something like, hey, yeah, I appreciate, that tip you said you're going to give me. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Following through on that,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, for sure. Larry, robo-taxis, our favorite thing.
Yes. So this is one of the reasons why, never know if these robo cars are ever going to take hold. So in this article, I don't know if you have a picture for it or not.
I do not.
Okay. So in this article, this happened in San Francisco and San Francisco's Chinatown the other day. So it's a Waymo car, autonomous car. So went up in flames in San Francisco Chinatown after a crowd surrounded it, scrawled graffiti on it, smashed the windows, and then threw fireworks inside the driverless vehicle. And if you can see the picture of this, I mean, this car is just burnt smack up. I mean, it is burned down. There's like nothing left but a little bit of the frame. People are messing. They like to mess with these autonomous cars. We've seen the ones in the past where the people will set the traffic cones on the hood and the car freaks out and doesn't, just stops, doesn't know what to do. We just wonder what's going to stop people from doing stuff like this and messing with these cars.
Yeah, if you look at the car, because I'm a professional, I got the picture up.
Good job.
How melted down it is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those, and that's an electric car too, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, those electric cars are tough to put out fires. In fact, the fire department they developed some sort of blanket of some sort to throw over these electric cars because it gets up to 5,000 degrees or something like that, and the water can't put it out.
Let's see. So, looking through the article, it doesn't say if it's electric or not, but it just says it's the driverless car, robo taxi.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those are electric, but man, that thing's fucked up.
Oh man, yeah, they burn it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you prevent that. I mean, like you said, we've talked about it before about putting cones on it and it disturbs their self-driving. I mean, I don't know how you prevent it. It gets to the point where you're going to have somebody ride around it, and that kind of defeats the purpose of the self-driving.
It really defeats the purpose of the whole thing. If you're going to have somebody in the car, then they might as well just drive the car. But I don't know what the answer is. I mean, we've seen how rowdy, crowds and people are getting in general these days in some of these big cities.
Yeah.
They're doing these, takeovers of stores where the big mob runs in and just smash and grab and take whatever they want. So what's going to stop them from, doing something like this to a driverless car?
Did you see what happened in Kansas City today?
I did see. I haven't read too much about it. I saw the headlines flash up. But yeah, what was it? 20 people shot and one.
Is it that? I didn't read it, but they labeled it as a mass shooting.
Yeah, I think it was 22 shot, 8 people dead.
No way! Holy shit!
I believe
that was at the parade, right?
I heard it was near the parade. I don't know if it was connected to the parade.
I didn't read the article, of course. Typical Jason, he reads the headlines and doesn't read the article. But man, I didn't know it was that many. I
just pulled it up real quick. It says 1 dead, 22 injured at near Chiefs Super Bowl rally. So I haven't read it enough to see if it was connected or it just happened to be in the same.
Well, at least
area.
It's 1 dead. I know it's still bad, but you were 8 dead. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, sorry,
dead.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's
clickbait.
Yeah, no kidding. So, all right, moving on. This is kind of a interesting story. Basically, in Seattle, this guy has created his own food delivery service, and I kind of like his gumption, but it's not going to work. Basically, he calls his service Tony Delivers, and I don't know if his name is actually Tony. Let me look in the article. Anyways, I get why I'm looking for the name is because, Tony from DoorDash. So I wonder if he named it Tony Delivers because of, Tony, what's his name that owns DoorDash. But anyways,
so Tony, he started his name's Tony. Tony Ives, a former Uber Eats driver.
Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't find it, but it's called Tony Delivers. You could probably look it up. So I think the big problem in Seattle is they're adding extra fees now for the minimum wage. So they're adding like a regulatory fee of $5 on each order, plus the delivery fee, service charges, high menu prices, and tips. So, I mean, at some point, it's going to get out of what am I trying to say? It's going to get to the point where people aren't going to order it anymore. I don't know what word I was trying to say.
Yeah, especially if the economy gets bad, we start having some hard times. People.
Yeah.
You would think that would get cut out pretty quick.
So this guy, his website's not bad. It's called Tony Delivers. He delivers everything for $5. And he has a zone. His website has a picture of where he delivers, and he goes, I'll deliver from any restaurant on this map to any destination on this map for $5. It's funny. He says he's featured on Reddit, GeekWire, and a couple other places, which is interesting. So this is where it gets clunky. So it's just him, right? So he delivers from 11 a.m. to 2 and 5 to 8 daily. So that's during rush hour. Text me your name, address, and restaurant. So already clunky as fuck. I'll text you back the wait time. Usually you can order right away. Order your food on the restaurant's website by selecting pickup or takeout, and I'll deliver your food. I'll meet you in the lobby outside the building. You can pay with Apple Pay, Google Pay, or cash. So, I mean,
I guess Tony pays for the food up front, and then
he
would have to. I mean,
no, it says order your food on the restaurant's website by selecting pickup or takeout.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
So they order it. Yeah, I was going to say, fuck no, that would be stupid.
Yes, it would be.
But he said, can I trust you to deliver? Before starting Tony Delivers, I made 9,197 successful Uber Eats deliveries and held a satisfaction rate of 98%. I'm confident that I can deliver your food for cheaper and faster than anyone else. Tony always delivers with enthusiasm. It's raining outside. Does Tony deliver in the rain? Yes, and he's loving it. So, I mean, good for him.
Yeah.
I like his. I hope he can get some sort of app build. I don't know what it is. I mean, if you can build relationships with these people, then it's fine, right? Once you like get repeat customers, then it's not clunky, right? Because the person likes how it works. But we need something, man. These fees are fucking ridiculous.
I just wonder though. I mean, how many deliveries can he make in an hour?
That's the thing too. Like, is he?
Yeah, I mean, because you know how it is with some of the restaurants. I mean, you might have to wait 5 or 10 minutes, and by the time you deliver it, I mean,
well, I think right now it's so small, it's not a big deal for him. And in fact, he's probably still doing Uber Eats. I mean, we could get him on the show and interview him. It'd be interesting conversation.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's multi-apping with his own service and Uber Eats. I mean, there's no way you could.
There's when I first was thinking about doing food delivery, there's one here in Bowling Green, a company. It's called Takeout Waiter, and it's pretty popular. And I'd heard about it, so I stopped by their office to see what it took to sign up and everything. And at that time, I'm sure they've changed by now, but at that time, like if you wanted to go on, if you wanted to start, instead of just having an app you turn on, you had to call in and tell the owner, okay, I'm working, and they would clock you in, and same thing when you were done, you had to call in and so like I sat there for the 15-minute spiel about it and went through kind of the sign up. I'm like, I'm never doing this. I'm never doing this.
Did you not do it because it was like just because you had to check in with them, or did you feel like it was going to be a disaster?
Yeah, I just thought it was going to be crazy. But I have talked to one or two people who have worked with it, and they were pretty happy with it.
I don't know how he tracks you if he has to have some.
I'm sure
on the phone.
Exactly. I'm sure they've got something probably now. But yeah, then it seemed very clunky. But it was kind of in there. It was before the pandemic, so it was really before the big food delivery push, and back when we all hated doing food delivery.
Yeah. Earlier in the chat, Wade was one of my friends, actually, from way back in the day. He worked, I'm pretty sure it's him. I'm sure he's still not online, but he worked for one of those companies too. I'm pretty sure it was him. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, those were around here too before, the food delivery really popped off. I'm sure they're gone now, but in today's day and age, if he could get somebody to build an app. I mean, or figure it out himself, go to YouTube and code it yourself or something like that. Like if you can just get something simple where people can pay on there, or at least like, I don't know I don't know anything about that shit. So
he could simplify, streamline the process quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, even if he got like a texting service, you know, a lot of times people like they'll text you and you can pay for it right through text or whatever like that. But I don't know shit about that stuff. So, but I give him props for doing it. I mean, if he can keep it up, but $5, I mean, I'm assuming he'll get tips from them too.
Yeah, I would assume so. But
$5 just seems too cheap.
But then, you know, he can start building his client, and when he starts getting busier, then he can start having some subcontractors. Next thing you know, he's managing everything. Tony's not working. Tony's not having to go out and pick up food anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thought. I mean, if he can keep up with it and keep his costs low, it's possible.
Yeah.
We need some competitors. You watch, in 2 years, we're going to be talking about him. He's going to be it's going to be Tony Delivers.
We'll be seeing the Tony Delivers ad on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of ads that weren't on the Super Bowl, Middleton Tech, Maximo, Driver Utility Helper, and Flex Alert. Flex Alert is for Amazon Flex, which we don't talk about a lot because I haven't done it in a hot second. The rates have been poor. But Driver Utility Helper is for DoorDash, and Maximo is for Uber, Lyft, and Grubhub. Basically, fully customizable apps for those platforms other than Amazon, and be able to auto accept, auto decline, set up different parameters, how far you want to drive to get a ride. I used it all weekend, especially with Lyft, because they want to fucking send you to the next county to pick people up. So, it just automatically declines it. I don't have to do anything. It's fucking amazing. It's worth every penny. The low price of like $5 a month for Maximo, and I think it's $10 for Driver Utility Helper. So
cut out one of your Tony's deliveries, and you can pay for it.
There you go. And the driver, those costs, you can use those as deductions. Like those are definitely things you can use on deductions. So even if you use both of them for $15 a month to not have to touch your phone as much and keep you safer on the road, is great, especially DoorDash, because it like makes you do like all kinds of different clicks just to cancel a order or decline an order. So Larry, tell me about this Lyft oops that made some money. Gary was talking about it earlier.
Yeah, so some earnings reports came out yesterday, and Lyft's earning report came out, and it was unexpectedly much better than everyone was thinking it was going to be, and their stock price shot up about 70%.
Wow, 70? I got some Lyft stock too. I should look at that.
I think that's what it was. It was I forget what it was trading at originally, but it shot up to like $19.70. Yeah,
damn.
It was trading about $12 during the day. So it says it went up about 62%. But then somebody noticed, oh, hey, somebody added an extra zero onto this number, showing that it went up.
How does 500 that shit
basis
even happen?
Points instead of 50 base points. Yeah, somebody need to get fired over this. I mean,
yeah, don't they have someone checking it?
You would think so. I mean, you
like
would
a double check.
So, but it's probably done by AI. That's probably what happened.
Oh, God, that would be ridiculous if it was.
Yeah, but yeah. So then their stock started coming back down, and people were, I'm sure, we're in a huge uproar about this whole situation.
Yeah. So it was their earning reports like Uber, right?
Yeah, it said in the original earnings statement, Lyft estimated the gross margin would expand by 500 basis points, which is 5 percentage points. That sent the company stock shooting high.
I don't know what the points mean. I'm like, did they hit their numbers?
Yeah.
Like they're
so
it may not say that.
It said Lyft appeared to include an errant zero, an extra zero in its numbers. Their actual estimate is much lower at 50 basis points, which is only half a percentage point. So on the earnings call, which is held shortly after the press release, the chief financial officer provided the correct estimate. So the stock went up from $12 to $19.70, and then afterwards it dramatically started going back down. but it still ended up like 18% for the day. So
it's not horrible.
yeah, it says overall they reported a 17% year-over-year increase in gross bookings and revenue of 1.2 billion, which is a 4% year-over-year increase.
I hope Lyft stays around. We need the competition, but
it's going to be tough. I mean, it says, even in the article, it says the rideshare company continues to burn through cash. On Tuesday, Lyft reported a net loss of $340.3 million for the full year 2023.
So 300 million loss. I feel like that's better than it's been.
Yeah. 2022, it lost 1.6 billion.
Holy shit. So even though they still lost, that's a huge gain back.
Yeah, that's way better. 340 million versus 1.2 billion. Yeah, that's significant for sure.
I wish I knew how finance work. Like, are they getting money from investors to keep that afloat? Like, I mean, obviously they got money coming in, their cash flow for like rides and shit. I just don't understand how a company can do that.
Yeah, I mean, where else? I mean, they have to have operating capital. And if they're losing that much, so yeah, they've got to be getting money from somewhere.
Yeah.
But they're cooking the books.
Probably got some crazy accounting.
Yeah.
Couple more things before we end the show and hop into the Patreon, which is at 9:10 tonight. If, like I said, if you are a Patreon member in the higher tier, it's the $10 tier. You get unfiltered access with Larry and Jason.
Get the real deal, the dirt behind the scenes.
You got to get low. You got to go unfiltered
access.
Tonight, when you get off the show, go to your wife. Yeah. I love you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy anniversary, baby.
Happy anniversary. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to say something inappropriate. And I won't be able to look at your wife's face when she comes to the picnic.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of getting lucky, I did not even try this segue. Like, normally I will work on segues. I forgot about this one. It's a 12-second video of this DoorDash driver delivering food, and he
perfect fit. What a perfect fit.
He misspoke the woman thinking she was calling him in.
My wardrobe. Thank you. Quick, come in.
Oh, come in. What?
Oh, no, I was talking to the dog.
I was like it too. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh no. He thought he was going to be like, dear penthouse.
I was delivering food. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You can see it caught him by surprise, but he was like, yeah, I'll come in. She's like, I was talking to the dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and you can just see his face like,
shattered.
He's like,
burst his balloon.
He's probably a little quiet maybe, and like, he likes video games, just like a quiet dude, and he's like, oh man, this is my shot.
I've read about this.
Yeah. Ty saying Vader for our voice. What does he say? Luke, I am your father. No, that's not Vader. I really like, if in the morning, my wife always says, oh my God, you need to go record some voiceovers, because it's like even lower than that.
Yeah, mine does too. You got all that drainage and stuff from the night before, and your voice is really low.
Let's do this Reddit one and then get out of here.
Okay. Let me see. Was this the
Uber Pet?
Yeah. So there's a Reddit post. It says, I ordered Uber Pet for a friend this morning. He calls and says the driver refused to give him a ride because, in quotes, your dog sheds too much. I texted to get clarification on what was going on. He read it and ignored me, and a new driver was assigned. And the guy asked, does the app not tell you if you're accepting a ride with a pet? How in the world is this acceptable? Yeah. And if you got Uber Pet turned on, which you have to turn it on, it does,
correct.
It's an option. It's a little slider. We got an option to turn it off or on. If you turn it on, then, I mean, what do you expect? Some dogs shed. So if you're going to have Uber Pet, I mean, I would just recommend you keep like a nice blanket or something. I think a tarp in the back of my car, because I take dogs, even though I don't have Uber Pet.
Tarp?
Yeah.
Like a plastic tarp?
Well, no, it's not like a tarp.
It's more canvas.
Yeah, kind of like, yeah.
It's for bodies.
Yeah. Well, shh.
So I disagree. I think you can accept or decline anything you want. If I did it a couple months ago. The lady, it straight up was a fucking husky, just like this. I swear to God, I didn't post this, but it doesn't say husky, but she's like, well, it was weird because she requests an Uber pet. I pull up and she doesn't have a dog. And then when she got in, she's like, I need to add, if you remember that, I need to add another step. Well, I said, what kind of dog is it? And she said, a husky. And I said, no, thank you. I think it's okay. Like, you can have it. Like, I took a dog the other night on Lyft. It wasn't even Uber. They don't have Lyft pet. He was like, I have a small dog. He won't bother anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, it's a small dog. And it ended up being a short-haired some dog, and I never heard a peep out of him. You know what I mean? So it's like, I still feel it's up to the driver's discretion.
No, I agree 100%. I mean, any ride is up to the driver if you don't want to take it for whatever reason, because like we say, we're independent contractors. You know, we it's our car. We decide what goes or not.
Well, this guy, and there's a lot of saying you need to do it like you said, but then this guy, he like talks himself into a corner, and the whole thing, he says, I literally have a blanket like thing in my trunk, not a tarp, in case I pull up and I do see that your dog that I think is going to be a whole mess, I can throw it down. You shouldn't turn on Uber Pet if you aren't prepared for your average pet. I will admit, I am never accepting another Uber Pet from a doggy beach again, but it's still hold different from not accepting to showing up. So he's literally saying, like,
right, he's not,
you should, if you're not going to take it, but then he's like, well, I'm not doing the doggy beach anymore.
Exactly,
I'm like,
yeah.
Sir, you can't say both ways.
Yes, it's a doggy beach, so you're gonna have sand all over your car.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I think you can decline, like, if it's a little lap dog and it's a little dog that's in a purse, I don't have a problem with that.
Sure, yeah. Like I said, we don't even have Uber Pet here, but I've taken numerous animals over the years. But I will, if it's something I think is going to shed or something, I will lay something on the seats.
Yeah, that's probably smart. But all right, last thing. I don't know if you guys saw the DoorDash promo for the Super Bowl. And so I read it wrong. In my head, I saw the ad and I read it as win everything in all the Super Bowl ads. So I thought it was all the ads on the Super Bowl, like the car ads.
Yes, it was.
So according to this article, it wasn't.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now this is from a site that probably is giving me a virus. It's called oddschecker.com. So it could be complete shit, but basically says you can win everything shown in the Super Bowl DoorDash commercial.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can win Popeye chicken, Oreos, Starry, Reese's Pieces, drumsticks, 30-pound bucket of mayonnaise, 23 bags of Nerd gummies. So according to this website, it is just the stuff that was in the ad, because I was like, holy shit, they're going to give away a car?
3 cars. It would have been 3. It would have been 3 cars.
Well, yeah, whatever it was. Like, I mean, I don't even remember all the ads, but so, yeah, I'm like, this is dumb. Do I really want a 30-pound bucket of mayonnaise, a Budweiser Clydesdale saddle, a Michelob Ultra cooler, 60 bottles of Mountain Dew Baja Blast?
There we go. Now that's the winner right there.
That would put me over the top.
Winner, chicken dinner right there.
Let's see, 1,000 Popeye chicken wings, which the company says that can be redeemed at your convenience. Now, granted, like I said, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this website's wrong, because Larry and I both had the idea that it wasn't. It was everything. I was like, damn, that's a good, that's, that could be like $500,000 worth of prizes.
I'm going to investigate this, because I looked at an article, and it was before it happened. And it said DoorDash says that it will likely include up to 6 vehicles, $50,000 cash, $10,000.
Maybe this article is bullshit. Well,
I'm going to investigate that. Are
you going to investigate and follow up on the next show? Because this show is known for.
You have to be a Patreon to hear it. We're going to talk about it.
Oh, what a tease from the Larry, Mr. Larry Duncan, getting his hosting skills out.
There you go.
Well, guys, thank you so much. It was a fun show. Yes. I appreciate you watching the videos. Like Larry said, tonight at 9:10, we're going to be on the Patreon. So if you're on the $10 tier, hop in and Larry will give you the answer which is correct, or if that site is janky, which I'm leaning towards that. Go to patreon.com/the GigCon podcast. Oh, and of course, check out Kim's podcast too. Really appreciate if you do that. And as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.
Good night.
Good night.
This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.